You're listening to the Secure Dad Podcast. Discover ways to protect yourself and your family at home, in public, and online. Welcome, friend. I'm Andy Murphy, the creator of The Secure Dad. This podcast serves to help people become proactive in their safety. The information I share on this podcast is for general information purposes only. My goal is to empower you to make safer decisions for yourself and your family, because our safety is our own responsibility. Today, I'm sharing about burner phones and how they've become popular with teens to avoid parental monitoring. All of that and more ahead on the Secure Dad Podcast. What if you could protect your family's online data in just a few clicks? DeleteMe is now offering a simple way to protect not only your data online, but the personal information of your family members too. The DeleteMe family plan offers super simple controls that let you take charge of privacy settings for everyone in your family. That's right, any family member 18 years and older can now be protected in one comprehensive plan. The plan includes individual data sheets on each member so you can get a detailed look at how your family's data is being removed from the internet. Go to joindeleteme.com/dad. There you can get 20% off a privacy plan when using the code DAD at checkout. Breathe easy knowing your loved one's information is being removed from harmful sites. See why I find DeleteMe essential to my family's privacy at joindeleteme.com/dad and use promo code DAD to get 20% off today. DeleteMe is a sponsor of the Secure Dad Podcast. There's a new free guide from the Secure Dad. I've teamed up with Ryan with Dads for Defense, and together we've created a home security guide called Fortress Fast Track. This guide will walk you through quick wins that you need to protect your home inside and out, including how you can defend against a Wi-Fi jamming attack on your home security system. To get your copy of Fortress Fast Track, go to thesecuredad.com/fortress or click on the link in the show notes. Believe it or not, the show Bird Notice has been off the air for more than 10 years now. I know, it was such a good show, it doesn't feel like that long. But the characters on that show constantly used burner phones to avoid detection from authorities and enemies. Today, burner phones are popular with spies and security-minded people, but there's an uptick in use with teenagers, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The digital age has brought a lot of good things, but it's also introduced a whole bunch of new challenges for parents. One such challenge is the rise of burner phones with teenagers. These devices can be tempting for teenagers seeking to fly under the radar, but their use can actually lead to some serious problems. And it's important to keep in mind that no smartphone is completely anonymous. Websites like Google will still track your activity, and police can also track burner phones, so they're not really a free pass to do whatever you want on the internet. So what exactly is a burner phone, and why would a teenager even want one? Well, imagine a phone devoid of contracts, commitments, or parental monitoring. Now, doesn't that sound like a teenager's dream? That's the allure of the burner phone. Typically, a burner phone is a prepaid device that is purchased with cash and does not require a contract or registration or for you to turn over an ID. Prepaid phones can be purchased at gas stations, big box stores like Walmart, and through a guy that somebody knows at school. And this is why parents need to be concerned about what their kids could potentially do with a burner phone. These prepaid devices offer a level of anonymity that traditional cell phones just don't have. This makes them attractive to teenagers and adults for several reasons, like avoiding punishment. Losing their primary phone can feel like losing a lifeline for a teenager. A burner phone ensures that they can still access social media and stay connected, even if their main phone is taken as punishment. They can also create secret online profiles, social media secret accounts like Finsta, which stands for fake Instagram. These are popular with teens that want to explore their online identities without parental oversight. Burner phones provide the necessary anonymity to create and manage these accounts without Wi-Fi access, and that's important. We'll talk about that in a minute. With a burner phone, teens can engage in risky activities. Teens experimenting with drugs, alcohol, or inappropriate relationships may use burner phones to avoid detection. Burner phones offer a way to communicate and arrange activities without leaving a trace on their main devices or your home's router. Getting a burner phone is not really that hard, and it's certainly not a secret. A quick glance through social media and YouTube will give you step-by-step instructions on how to do this. And teens don't have to go to some back alley to get these prepaid smartphones. They can go to Walmart or Best Buy to get one. Phones like this will also require prepaid cards for the carrier so that a contract doesn't have to be signed. Teens would need to pay cash for the phone and the card for the minutes and the data, and the reason they pay cash is that it can't really be traced to them or to a bank account that you may share together. Also, it's possible for people to buy a burner phone with a prepaid Visa card, like the one that you get for Christmas or for a birthday. These cards can also be reloaded with cash so that teenagers can make more unmonitored purchases. The purpose of a burner phone is to use the 5G or LTE service and avoid connecting to the home Wi-Fi, because on the home Wi-Fi, hopefully you have parental controls set up and you can monitor the traffic coming and going from your house. So this is where having the prepaid phone comes in. That also means that if it's connected to your home Wi-Fi, this is a great opportunity to spot a burner phone, because if you get a device that's marked Samsung, but all of your family has iPhones, well, that's going to stand out and you need to investigate that further. Once they have the phone, they can create a new email address, social media accounts, and browse the internet unrestricted. If they can reload the prepaid Visa card, they may be able to sign up for streaming services and membership sites like OnlyFans that may have content that doesn't match the values of your home. They can also call or text whoever they want and talk about whatever they want. This can be dangerous as teenage minds, as smart as they are not ready for the complexities and the information overload of the wide open internet. Quite honestly, I don't think my brain is either. So now let's discuss the red flags that your kid might have a burner phone. A teenager's behavior can often be the first indicator of a burner phone's presence. Here are some of those red flags to watch out for. Look for a sudden shift in phone behavior. If your teen suddenly seems indifferent at the thought of losing their phone as a punishment, that might be an indicator that they have an alternative device. If your teen, who used to have their phone glued to their face, is no longer interested in it, then that might be a sign that they're getting their dopamine fix from another source. If you see it lying around the house or it gets left at home all of a sudden, well, that's a big shift in their behavior. Another sign of a burner phone is a significant decrease in data usage on their primary phone. That might suggest that they're using an alternative device for internet access. Lastly, you can look at unfamiliar activity on your network. Most routers will allow you to check the devices that are connected to your Wi-Fi network. If you see an unrecognized device, that is definitely worth investigating further, even if it's not a burner phone. You need to know what that device is. In doing my research for this topic, I reached out to Wesley of Super Essie and got his take on finding a burner phone. He mentioned all the great ideas that you just heard me talk about, but he concluded his take with, "It's your kid. Just turn their room upside down and look for it." Don't get lost in the digital complexities of a burner phone. At the end of the day, it's a physical device that resides in the real world. Find out where it's used or hidden, and then you've got what you need to help your child with whatever they've been doing with this burner phone. While burner phones themselves may seem like the root of the problem, the underlying issue is often a teenage desire for more privacy or a lack of trust and open communication with their parents. So here are some strategies that you can use. Focus on their behavior, not the devices. Banning phones outright might create more tension. Instead, focus on establishing clear expectations for online behavior. You've heard me talk about that before. Be responsible for social media and what you say on it. Respect boundaries and avoid cyberbullying. Consistent rules and fair consequences are important. Develop a clear family phone policy that outlines acceptable and unacceptable uses of mobile devices and actually list out what those things are. Don't leave any gray areas. This policy should also include consequences for violating the rules, but those consequences should be fair and age-appropriate. Lastly, consider open communication. Create a safe space where your teen feels comfortable admitting mistakes that they have made online. This is so vitally important. Let them know that they can come to you for help without fear of punishment. Yes, there may be a consequence, but if they fear the punishment outright, then they'll never come talk to you. I've done a lot more on this topic that you can read in the article that comes along with this episode, and there is a link to it in the show notes for you. Well, that's all that I have for the Secure Dad podcast for today. Thank you, friend, for listening. Take back your privacy and personal data with help from DeleteMe. Get 20% off our privacy plan when using the code DAD at checkout. There's a link in today's show notes to get you started. Get your copy of Fortress Fast Track at thesecuredad.com/fortress or just click on the link in the show notes. If you'd like for your child to have a smartphone but not access to the entire internet, consider a True Me phone. My family uses one all the time. Click on the link in the show notes and use the code TheSecureDad at checkout for $50 off a phone of your choice. If you'd like to know more about the Secure Dad, join me on Instagram and X. My username for both platforms is TheSecureDad. And of course, my website is available to you 24/7 at thesecuredad.com. I'm Andy Murphy, reminding you that our safety is our own responsibility.